Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. Got a product video for you today. We wanted to tell you about the Stan Axis thumb button release. So this is kind of the culmination of a common trend we're seeing in some thumb button releases that are especially used by hunters, in that we're adding the wrist strap to it. Hunters have kind of been doing that on their own for years with releases that are capable of doing that. But now Stan gives you the whole package, the wrist strap and the release. And incidentally, you know, if you want to disconnect it, you can, and you can shoot it just as a handheld, or you can shoot it as it's configured with the wrist strap. And what that does is that evens out the pressure when you're pulling back. You know, one of the benefits of those wrist strap releases is you've got your whole arm pulling back, versus just having the release in your hand, then all of the weight is on your hand. So when you have both, now you've got your wrist and your hand bearing the weight of that string as you pull it back. So again, we've just been seeing bow hunters doing that with hand. They like the handheld releases, and they also like having that wrist strap for helping them draw. But let's take a look at the release here first. So the Axis, it is a 3-finger handheld release. It is a trigger, so this is going to be your trigger right here. Now, it's got an open hook design. What that's designed for is, you know, fast D-loop acquisition when you're in the tree stand. I don't have to open or close any jaws. I've got my D-loop right here. Just hook up that release and I'm ready to go. You know, I can even, you know, feel my way if it's dark in the tree stand. I can just use my finger and find that D-loop so that I can pull back and then fire. Now, what's unique about that open hook is if you look right here, you're going to see a spring. So this is a spring-loaded head right here. After it fires, it automatically snaps back. Now, something Stan has done is, so I just fired that release, the hook is still loose. All I have to do to cock it is touch the thumb barrel again. You'll hear a click. Now this is ready to fire. That is solid. Once I fire it, the hook is released, same thing, ready to fire. So that's real super convenient when you're up in the tree to just, you're gonna squeeze that trigger to set the hook and then squeeze it again when you want the release to fire. So adjustments for the release here. Of course, you are gonna be able to adjust the thumb barrel. There's another screw that comes in the package, so you can shorten this head. I have it in the longest position to where the screw here is only in the very end of the post, so I can raise it out. That's my preference. Your thumb barrel, you're going to have a set screw in here. That's going to allow you to swivel it to get it in the position you want. And of course, down here with your screw, I can then loosen that up and I can move this anywhere I want it. You know, sweep it way forward, sweep it way back, however I want to have that set. My adjustments for the release itself right here, this is going to be my trigger travel setting. So if I turn this clockwise, I'm going to increase the trigger travel. That's the amount of distance this moves before it fires. If I turn it counterclockwise, I'm decreasing the amount of travel. On the back here, this is going to be for your trigger tension. Clockwise is going to make the release heavier. In other words, I'm going to have to put more pressure on the thumb barrel to get the release to fire. Counterclockwise is going to make it light. That's going to make this more like a hair trigger. Just need a little bit of pressure and that release is going to fire. So down here then, you're going to have, this is an infinitely adjustable wrist strap. So I can get this connector, this strap connector, any distance I want away from the wrist strap, you know, infinite adjustment. All I have to do is loosen these 2 screws and then I can slide that strap in or out. But I'll show you, this is what it looks like when you have it on. So once the release is hooked up, got that in there. Now, I can use no pressure on the handle at all and just pull back with my wrist, you know, or I can use both and get a nice grip in there and use both to pull back. And then of course, Stan, you know, what they're known for are these super crisp triggers. So I just apply a little bit of pressure, and then there are the sears in here they're just really well made, super precise. So there is no slop in this trigger at all. Once this thing breaks over, it just breaks nice and clean. This is a really well-built release in terms of firing, how the firing mechanism works. Well-made release there. But that's just what I'm talking about, you know, with you can always have this right at the ready to go when it's hanging there from the wrist strap. And again, you know, you have that extra assistance pulling back the bowstring when you got it attached that way. But if you don't like it, you can see right there, all I would have to do is loosen this and I can take that strap off and just have the handheld release. All right, so that is the Stan Axis. Great thumb button release from Stan that also has the wrist strap added on to it, you know, primarily for bow hunters. This is going to be something bow hunters are really going to love out there. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.